YouTube, what's good, YouTube? You already know what it is, man. It's right, Deezy TV, man. Another day, another dollar, another fat girl go holler, man. You already know what it is, man. And so today I got a big, huge turn vlog for y'all, man. Day in the life with Deezy, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. So I'll be meeting a huge inventor, man. That's a huge inventor. That he goes by the name of Julian Brown, man. Yeah, Julian Brown, the man that made gasoline himself, gas fuel himself, or also known as, I think it's called Plastoline, I think is what it's called.
He turned plastic waste into gasoline, went missing for weeks, and now we finally know what really happened to him. His name is Julian Brown, and he's been going viral with his experiments turning plastic junk into usable gasoline for vehicles, which he calls Plastoline. Yet another revolutionary innovator of efficient and easily accessible energy.
Plastoline! 110 octane made from gasoline. 2023 scat pack right here. It's on E. This does not have fuel inside of it. There we go. See the crowd out there. We're making history, and everybody. All right. Hold on. You guys saw it. Let me get in. There's no fuel in the car. All right. So now, empty tank. 23 scat, Plastoline, 110 octane made from gasoline, and we're gonna pour it in. You ready, Dobby?
You ready, Dobby? You ready, Dobby?
Here we go. History in the making, baby.
Plastoline.
Plastoline.
All right.
Oh my God.
Hello.
It's real now.
Hey.
See that real? It's real.
It's
real. All right.
All right.
I think that's it.
All right, we think that's it.
All right.
All right, it's empty.
Yeah.
Yes, he made his own gas. The gas used to drive in cars, he hand-made it. He hand-made it by himself. He created it. So, without further ado, about to go to the event.
Virginia 757, we're here, and I'm gonna see you guys at VSU, Virginia State University, in a few hours.
About to see how this goes. Y'all seen the last video, man. Y'all see it was campaign season at VSU, man. Make sure y'all go tap in with that video, man. Make sure y'all go, you feel me, go watch that. But y'all already know what it is, man. I'm gonna catch y'all out there. I already know what it is, man. Go. Damn. YouTube, trying to find the building now. 150 should be right. Right here, found the building, Jack.
So then you took that crude oil, and then you refine it, just like we do crude oil. And then you get things like Plastoline,
appreciate it.
Gasoline made from plastic, diesel made from plastic, and then things like the plastic kerosene, the jet fuel made from plastic. So I started to do that in this machine. This was the first machine to make fuel that I actually put into an engine. I ran my dad's weed eater. I told him I wasn't going to do it, but I lied to him, and I did it anyway. And it worked for a second, and then it didn't work because I didn't refine the fuel properly. And he was always wondering why it wasn't working anymore. That's right. I got better techniques over time. Now, we're starting to get bigger. This is Mark III. This machine, Mark III, look at this. This is a 55-gallon drum again. You see, we're going back. We're tracing the steps back. We started with a 55-gallon drum. This was like a rebirth of it, okay? And now, if you notice, actually, I should have mentioned this, but let's take a look at this machine. What's up here? This box you see is called a waveguide. You can't see it well, but right behind that box is called a magnetron. A magnetron is what it is in every microwave oven. It's what makes the microwaves. The microwave shoot out the magnetron, and then this waveguide acts as a barrel. Okay? Every machine up to this point only had one of those. This machine had 5. It had 2 on this side and then 3 on the other side. You can see very clearly the magnetron. If you open up your microwave oven, I don't recommend you do, but if you do, you're going to see that on the inside. So this machine, when this was on, it was the equivalent of turning on 5 microwave ovens at once. And needless to say, this machine blew up. Yep, it blew up because what happened was the 55-gallon drum was way too thin for that much power. And it literally just, like the first time I took months to build this, and this is all on my YouTube channel, Nature Jab. You can look up all this stuff and watch the videos. I put it together, and then the first day I turned it on, it literally just shot off. You remember that, Mom?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was that. Hey, well, you guys see, it's a learning process, trial and error. At this point, I built this machine. I graduated high school. I took a gap year because I told my parents I want to keep working on these because I'm interested. But you see, we're starting to get somewhere. Capacity's bigger, and this machine was the first to implement something you can't see, and that's on the inside of this machine. There's a gigantic auger blade, which kind of looks like a big slinky, and it would spin and it would rotate and agitate the plastic. So next, after this one blew up, I built Mark IV. Now Mark IV, this machine here. This is where things really start to pick up. I had about 1 million followers on TikTok at this point, and you see immediately it's starting to look better. It's not really looking as ratchet as it was before, and this machine actually works very well. I built this machine. I took two 40-pound propane tanks, drained all the propane out, cut them, and then welded them together. That's thick steel now, so this one didn't blow up. And then I added in, we had 3 magnetrons total, so this thing had a lot of power. And then the auger blade's on the inside. So this machine actually operated, and I have a lot of YouTube videos of this, it operated consistently, it operated well. And I made a lot of fuel from it. Then I started to do more testing, so I got my refining process down. So for example, this Plastoline you see nowadays is after years of mastering the refinement process. Because you know, like I said, we get the crude oil out first, then you have to refine it to become like this. Well, this is a beautiful golden color. When I used to get it, it used to come out orange, and I cleaned it up.
Did you put the insulation on the outside to suppress the heat from the magnetrons, since you had multiplied your magnetrons instead of 1 to 3?
So the insulation on the outside is because over time, the microwave is heated to the plastic, right? But the heat of the plastic will leak into the metal, and then the metal is exposed to air. It ends up just bleeding all your heat away through the air. So you insulate it to keep as much heat in as you can. That's a great question, though, by the way. And if you guys have questions while I'm talking, feel free to raise your hand. This is all about education and inspiration here. So anyway, at this point, like I said, I was really posting stuff online, running engines. And this machine actually made the first batch of fuel to run a vehicle. I made diesel from this machine that ended up going inside of a 1993 Ford F-350. That was the first vehicle we ever operated off of plastic fuel made from these machines, and the first Ford to operate in the world off of it. But the issue with this machine was, with it having so much power, you see this right here, this was the electronics box. So this was jerry-rigged, you know, like I said, literally parts for microwave ovens, never meant to run like this, because microwaves at most run like, you know, at most 10, 15 minutes at a time. However,
Is this? Cheers.
they good.
Okay, sorry.
So microwaves run at most 10 to 15 minutes at a time, you know, if that. You know, you're only doing that if you're like making a potato in a microwave. I'd be running this for literally 7 hours at a time, and this is with microwave parts from regular microwave ovens. So basically, the electronics caught on fire. They caught this greenhouse on fire. This was all under my parents' deck, and then it almost caught the entire house on fire. And then at that point, they were like, "Listen, you've blown stuff up back here. You've almost caught the house on fire. I wait to call the fire department, and we have an HOA, so you're done. You're not building these anymore, all right? You're not running them in the backyard anymore. You got to figure something else out." So then I took a hiatus for like a year. People thought I died online, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Took a hiatus for a year. But then I was telling my parents, because at this point I still wasn't in university or anything. And then I got this grant program. I applied to this grant program called the 776 Foundation. It was started by Serena Williams' husband, Alexis Ohanian. Anyway, in applying for that, I had to have a new machine being built, so I told my parents, "Listen, I'm going to build another machine, but I'm not going to run it, okay? I'm just going to build it in the backyard. I'm not going to turn it on, so that way I can get this grant." And they're like, "Fair enough, okay." Boom. So then we built this machine right here, Mark 4.5. Now, mind you guys, I told you Mark II you could fit on this table. This machine is the size of a school bus. Built by hand. Look, you see me standing next to it. It's a tall machine. It's 9 foot long. Now, if you notice, Well, the scenery did change quite a bit, you know. Go back here, you know, this same background. Why is this machine under this carport? That's a pretty big backyard you got there, right? You're probably thinking, well, this was in my parents' backyard, but we had to move it out to this country property in Alabama. Why? Because this machine blew up too. But this explosion, this was the first explosion that actually hurt me. So remember I told you that I made the deal. I'm like, I'm just gonna build the machine. I'm not gonna turn it on, right? Well, I lied. I built the machine. I couldn't help but turn it on because I'm like, you know, I want to see how it works. So I built the machine, turned it on. It ran great. I made a lot of fuel. Then, you know, I had the crude oil. I wanted to refine the crude oil, right? Turn it into gasoline, diesel, jet fuel. I wanted to run an engine. Okay, when you refine crude oil, you're putting it inside of a pot that's closed, and you're essentially boiling crude oil. And then you have all these vapors that come off, hot vapors, at different temperatures. And at certain temperatures, those vapors will cool down into gasoline, diesel, jet fuel. Nonetheless, those are vapors that are literally flammable vapors that build up pressure. I built a distillation chamber that was supposed to suck out all the pressure, be under vacuum, but I didn't turn my vacuum pump on. So what happened was all the pressure built up, and then one day, when I was doing the distillation and all the pressure built up, I went to go extract my fuel, and it literally just all shot out. And it was a big flame, and it all shot at my feet. And actually, you could see that I have almost like vitiligo here. It looks like these are second-degree burns on both of my feet. So I kind of like to say I blew my black ass white because my feet are now white now. It's on this foot too, not as much, but my feet were swollen. I actually should have added some of those pictures in here. I didn't though. Maybe I shouldn't have, because my foot looked like an elephant. You know, and I couldn't walk for a month. And when that happened, after that one blew up like that, you know, at that point my dad was like, no, get out! Hell no, you're done! Get out of the backyard. So then I had to go out to Alabama. And this was rough because I don't live in Alabama, I live in Georgia. This was a 4-hour drive away. And I did that every day, to and from, to work and build on this machine. Driving 4 hours just to work out there. And this is Alabama we're talking about. So Alabama has some crazy insects out there. In the middle of 100-degree weather, you'll have mosquitoes flying around and biting you. And I'll tell you guys, the mosquitoes out there would get so bad that I literally developed an all-natural mosquito repellent because of how bad it was here. Actually, we have it here. These are some of my products that I make. But this is like the spray I made while I was out there because it got that bad and I hated putting on chemicals. So anyway, this machine, at this point, I had 1 million followers on TikTok, but my Instagram was also getting big, so I got 1 million on Instagram from this machine. And then what happened was, this machine is still there to this day. I actually just decommissioned it because I'm building the next machine. But this machine made so much fuel that I was able to run more vehicles and engines than ever. As a matter of fact, let me show you. So from this machine, we ran a lot of other vehicles out there. On this list, the most popular ones. We ran a Scat Pack. I don't know how many of you saw this, but this was picked up by World Star, Nick Cannon, TMZ. This was last year in Atlanta in October. I ran this pink Scat Pack off of Plastoline. You see, I'm holding it there. And this was great. This was, at the moment, the most expensive vehicle we ever put it in, because this is a $100,000 vehicle they don't even make anymore. So it's probably worth even more than that. We put it inside of it, and it ran great. And it ran better. The owner of the Scat Pack, her name is Wide Body Dami. You see, that's her Instagram there. She swears, she's like, it feels like it cleaned out my car. And that's something everybody said, actually. We ran a BMW S1K. This was in Miami, November 2025. This is a super motorcycle. This motorcycle is worth $100,000. BMW engine, very sensitive. We ran it. It ran amazing. The exhaust had blue flames coming out. That was great. And then we ran, this was literally last month, or actually this month. Wait, what month is it? It's April, right? April, yeah. I think it was April. Okay, look, let me show you guys. I'm gonna show you. I'm not gonna tell you.
First of its kind test happened today as a luxury car ran on fuel made from plastic waste. The experimental fuel called Plastoline is now being put to the test in a Rolls-Royce, making a major step for the project. Plastoline is a 110-octane fuel alternative made from discarded plastics like bottles and containers. Using microwave pyrolysis, the material is heated in a sealed, oxygen-free environment, turned into crude oil, and refined into a clean-burning fuel.
Plastic is not wasted fuel!
This process turns everyday plastic, like bottles and containers, into a liquid fuel by heating it in a sealed machine. The idea of turning plastic into fuel isn't new, but Julian Brown, the creator of Plastoline, is trying to make it smaller, mobile, and more accessible. Today, that fuel powered a Rolls-Royce, and Brown says this could be the future of sustainability.
The solution is within us, and we hold the power to change this world.
The fuel is made in a closed chamber with no air inside, so instead of burning, the plastic melts down and turns back into an oil.
The plastic breaks down into its basic chemical constituents. So plastic is made of crude oil, and it gets returned into crude oil, and it turns into the crude oil vapor. And that vapor can then condense into crude oil again, and that crude oil can then be refined into gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel, just like we do in our current refineries we have now.
Brown says about 10 pounds of plastic can make 1 gallon of fuel, and because there is no ethanol, it doesn't absorb water and can last longer than regular gas. Jabbar Westbrook, the owner of the Rolls-Royce used in the demonstration, says he never doubted the efficacy of the fuel.
I believe in him. You know, I've seen what he's done. It just made sense what he was saying, and I wanted to be a part of history. I believe it's gonna work. I ain't nervous at all.
The next step is the Mark V, a mobile solar-powered machine that will use more than 20 solar panels to continuously turn plastic into fuel more efficiently.
Whether it's in every house or not, it'll be in every city on Earth on some type of format, whether that's on a trailer, whether that's in the oceans, or whether that is stationary machines, small ones, portable ones that are just everywhere. But we need to handle plastic waste.
The end goal is to give communities a way to turn their own plastic waste into fuel, cutting down on trash while creating energy. The project is still in development with a larger machine and official emission.
So this was in Huntsville, Alabama, and this literally just happened this month. So we ran the Rolls-Royce. It ran amazing. As a matter of fact, it had a better fuel economy than fuel from the pump. Rolls-Royce has a V12 engine. That means that's a thirsty engine that drinks a ton of fuel. I put in a quarter gallon because that's all I had at the time. And we ran it down the drag strip twice. Nobody online believed that it was truly empty. Because of how well it performed, we knew it was empty because we literally had to push it at the beginning of the drag strip. And the guy, Jabbar Westbrook, the owner, drove it around the entire racetrack lot until it would not start anymore. But the point is, it's a viable fuel that actually works in many different types of engines. And like I said, those examples I showed you are just of the Plastoline. I've ran many different diesel engines. I've also run a jet engine off of it as well. So this is the real deal. And what's happening next is this. I decommissioned that last machine because it was a great machine, but you guys know I'm always in the mindset of I want this to actually make the impact and change the world. So even though that machine was great, I did blow myself up with it. I, since learned a ton. I forgot to mention to you guys, I was being stupid too, because when I was distilling the fuel and literally boiling gasoline right in front of me, I had basketball shorts on and a short sleeve shirt. And I was barefoot too. Like Tarzan here, a real bumbleclot. So I did that, and I learned now I always wear my safety gear when I am working on these machines. And because the crazy thing is, if I just had shoes on and pants, I wouldn't even have had to go to the hospital. So nonetheless, despite that machine being great and making all that fuel, it had limitations. It was handmade. That's right. That's right. This was handmade. Everything you see on it was hand-built. Even to the degree these big pipes you see up here were lifted up by a hoist system I made. That's why this wood is here. Hoist system to lift up these heavy pipes. And you can find all these videos on my social media platforms of me doing this. And that was the Achilles heel. Because with this machine being handmade, even though it was great, it was limited. Because at a certain scale, when you build a machine this big, little small issues that come with it being handmade that aren't like precise end up causing big leaks, big issues. So I can only run this machine on average about 5 to 8 hours before something would break and I had to repair it. And it would just be that process over and over again. So, like I said, it was great, but I knew I could do better, and now I'm doing better because I'm building Mark 5. That was Mark 4.5. It was a transitionary machine because I always told everybody the 5 will be professionally built. So we had Mark 4 and Mark 4.5. Now we're on Mark 5. This is being built right now. This started in January of this year. I'm building this in Woodstock, Georgia. I'm literally allowing my supporters to come from anywhere to help build the machine. I forgot to mention, after running all those engines, the Scat Pack, the BMW S1K, the Rolls Royce, now collectively I have 7 million followers on all platforms combined. So, and the most important piece of that is that this knowledge is getting out. People know what's possible because now, I promise all of you, you never throw plastic away the same. You know, just be like, oh, I'm just throwing away plastic. No, you're throwing away fuel. You're throwing away that $5 a gallon they're hitting you with now. I tell you. So that goes to this, ties into this. What is this? This is a mobile, solar-powered. You guys were saying solar. Remember, some of you were saying it's powered off of solar. Well, yes, the Mark 4.5 machine, the big one out there in Alabama, that was the first machine to ever power by solar because, of course, microwaves operate off of electricity. And I'm like, why would I burn a generator to make fuel when I could just get the sunlight? Anyway, this is going to be all of that. It's a machine on a trailer with solar panels that's mobile. And like I said, this is not a concept, this is not a theory, this is literally being built in Woodstock, Georgia by me and volunteer supporters right now. Okay, as a matter of fact, my legs are still sore and my body is still sore from welding on this because I was just there yesterday. So, this is how this works. You see this bus here? Okay, I'm building that bus right now. That's going to be my home. I'm literally going homeless on purpose. I'll be living in this bus, pulling the trailer with the machine, and going across the entire United States to show you directly the process of plastic into fuel. To take your water bottles directly and put them in the machine and then make 110 octane Plastoline before your eyes and show people right there what's possible, and that plastic is not waste but it is fuel. And that's the goal of this. And then from this we will take the same design on a mobile decentralized level and then get this in every city, every country on earth. And then we will take this same mobile design and then put it on a boat. Oh yeah, you already know where I'm going with this. Okay, we're going to put it on a boat, and then we're going to go out into the oceans with these boats and capture the ocean plastic and turn it into fuel right there on site, and that fuel will power the boat. The boat's just out there forever until all the plastic is gone, because all the fuel it needs is right there. And so that's going to be called Mark C. That's next after this, okay? When I started this project, I just started my nonprofit. That's what this is here. Because I've been just an LLC for so long, but I realized, especially for the ocean cleanup, it's not a profitable thing to do, right? So I started my nonprofit to raise funds for Mark 5 and Mark C, but this is really being built, and we're starting the trailer and the reactor literally in May. And all these things you can find on my social media. So, what I did, I think I have here. Yes, look at this trailer. So this is the CAD design. See how we have this? This is going to be the world's first solar trailer too. The roof will be made of solar panels. The sides will be made of solar panels that click out and fold when it's parked. And they can be adjusted different ways to capture the sun in different angles. So the trailer alone is going to be a unique, one-of-a-kind thing. As a matter of fact, this trailer is going to have 100 kilowatt hours of battery and 13,000 watts of solar. I know you're like, what does that even mean? What that means is I could run 2 homes off of this, just the trailer alone, for at least 2 days. Well, actually, if you include the batteries, for 3 days. And then if you include the machine on the inside, now I can run 2 homes and turn plastic into fuel. Get rid of plastic and make fuel. Boom. So this is a great thing. A great thing that can be implemented in many different ways, even outside of just turning plastic into fuel. So this is real, this is really being built, and this is a QR code for Jab Innovations, my nonprofit. So you can scan this QR code to do 2 things, or a few things actually. One, you can go to Jab Innovations, which you can then find, I don't know what that noise is, which you can then find information about the project, links to all my socials, and also a way to donate directly to my nonprofit. Now, I know you guys are college students, so to be honest, you don't worry about donating if you don't have the means. Most important thing, because people always ask, how can we support? Most important thing I say for you guys to do to support, if you don't have necessarily a means to donate, even if it's just $1, $5, that's cool too. There's a few different ways. For one, follow me on social media. Why? Because that's my project is 100% mine to this day. I have no investors, I'm independent, I have no shareholders, nobody's gonna buy me out. Why? Because I'm powered by the people. I'm powered by, that's why I have 7 million followers, because I share everything online. As a matter of fact, I forgot to tell you guys, the blueprints for Mark 5, they're gonna be public. I'm gonna put them in a book, giving them out, just like that, this summer, writing the book. So, following me is huge, and actually, don't just hit follow. If you follow, actually watch the videos, okay? Don't just be a little ghost follower. Actually keep up, because that makes a difference. Actually engage, comment, like, because that gets me pushed to more people, which gets me pushed to more eyes. This Mark 5 build, a lot like those solar panels you saw on the top, are all being sponsored by companies. Why? Because companies see that people watch my page, and it's a marketing investment. So I'm telling you guys right now, literally, that you as an individual choosing to watch my page makes a huge difference. I would not be able to afford to build this bus if I did not have a lot of parts sponsored. And the only reason I get things sponsored is because companies see I get viewership from real people, I get real engagement. You guys make a huge difference, okay? So that's huge. Another way you guys can support me, yes?
I just had a question. So I know you had said in one of the marks, I believe it's Mark 3, that you had waste, like the waste, and it had like, how did you separate the plastic being dirty and stuff into like it being clean? So before you were able, or while you were able to do the process?
So all the machines I showed you, one of the reasons they're so great is you can throw in plastic that's unclean, unsorted, any contamination level. You know, we were talking about why regular recycling, you can't throw in dirty plastic, like that's why they don't recycle sauce containers. You throw in any type of plastic in my machine, because the microwaves don't care what is on it, they're gonna break it all down to the basic chemical level. You're gonna make gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, natural gas, and solid carbon, no matter what. Great question. And we're going to have a Q&A in a second. I just want to finish off this last bit here. Two things I want to finish off with. For one, the other way you can support me, which is a way you can also support yourself. I told you guys, I was out there in Alabama, and I made my all-natural mosquito ticker flea repellent out there. But I also have a completely all-natural brand, which is all this up here on the table. This is called Jab Aroma. So I actually, around the same time I started building my first reactor, I started making my own all-natural deodorant. Because if you guys don't know, deodorant is actually a really bad thing usually. It has aluminum in it, it also has petroleum in it. It's usually linked to Alzheimer's and cancer. And we put this on every day under your armpits, which are very porous. Right? And now I mean to lecture you guys on all that stuff, but the point is, don't worry about the problem, I have the solution. Because every single product I have on this table, I make lotion, deodorant, hairspray, lock spray, and then my all-natural mosquito repellent spray. All this stuff has less than 5 ingredients, no aluminum, no petroleum, which is kind of ironic because I work with petroleum and plastic. But that's how I know what not to put in my products, because I know what is petroleum. And most stuff on the market, especially the hair stuff, body stuff, is full of petroleum. I learned this because I know what the actual chemicals look like, because these are the same chemicals in plastic. You shouldn't be having benzoates in your lotion. Just saying, because it's going to get absorbed into your skin. So I make that stuff. I also have merch up here, like some shirts for my event, bracelets, some stickers. So that's up there. That's a way to directly support the project and support yourself, because 10% of the profits go directly to the mission. Another thing though, I actually need my dad to step up, because do you guys wonder what the Plastoline smells like? Like, do you guys wonder, how do we know when, we saw that Rolls Royce run, was that actually, Plastoline, not gasoline, right? And I always tell people, the easiest way to know is just by smelling it. Now, here's the thing. I tell you, the proper way you're supposed to smell chemical substances is not just to put your nose over it. You have to kind of wave it up to you. So what's going to happen here, my dad, Papa Jab, he's going to come bring this around for you guys to smell, and you just, wave it at yourself, and you tell me if this is gasoline from the pump. give a facial expression. Do yes or no or something. Give him something. You know, send you to Mars.
like my house.
You can get electrified. You know, you can crush yourself. You can do all these things. Like in every realm and dimension, this is dangerous. And I said to them, yeah, you're right, but I want to build it anyway. And I'm going to build it anyway. You know, you're not going to stop me from building it. I'm going to build it in the backyard. But the point is, I believed in myself. And on top of that, I didn't give up. Even after I blew myself up, even after I made a great machine that worked amazing, but it just was still handmade, I kept working at it. 5 years in the making. Like, it's easy to see now, oh, he has 7 million followers. Oh, he ran the Rolls Royce and he got it. Of course he gets a sponsorship. No, 5 years in the making, guys. I don't have investors. My first 4 machines, I built 100% from my own pocket. So the point I'm trying to make to all of you is that things, what you guys are here to do, because you guys are here to change the world your ways, God has given us all missions. It's going to take time. It's going to take perseverance. It's going to be a fight. It's not going to be easy. That's why I go by Nature Jab. Nature Jab, J-A-B, those are my initials. Nature in front. Jab is a punch. I'm a black belt in karate. We're fighting for nature. We're warriors. A warrior trains for war. War is not easy. War is not comfortable. When you're on your mission bestowed to you by God, it's going to be uncomfortable. But that's the whole point. That's confirmation. So when I get blown up, I'm like, that means I need to get back up. Or, you know, people always ask, are you afraid for your safety? When I have threats, death threats, or like when I've had a Black Hawk helicopter fly over my property, or cybersecurity attacks, that's just confirmation to me that this is the right path. You know, there will be resistance. So that's what I want you guys to take from this more than anything, because the goal is really to create people that are even stronger world changers than I could ever be. That's the goal, because we all have it within us. We all, you know what I like to say? Make your potential energy kinetic, because it's within all of you. Yep.
Oh, I had a quick question. I'm going to answer this real quick. Of all the research or work you did, what do you feel is the most important as of right now?
I would say just being out there and building it. You know, I told you guys when I first started, you could look this stuff up online and figure out like, oh, how do you look this up? How do you build a pyrolysis reactor? But once I got into a certain realm, it was true innovation where there was no guide online. And now I'm at a point where I have 5 years of trial and error that nobody else on earth has done. So like when I put out my blueprint, I'm the only person that can put out those blueprints because nobody else has built one of those that you just seen. You can't find it. And so that's the most important research, just getting in there, doing it, tinkering, and being willing to fail. Because when you go in there, you just tinker, you already know where you're going. You're going to figure out as you go. That kind of goes back to having that faith in yourself. Guys, the first one was the size of, fit on this table. That was the size of a school bus. Now it's going to be pulled by a bus. But I didn't know from the beginning where this was going to be, but I just knew that I was going to make it work no matter what. And I just kept my mind open to possibilities and always kept asking why, how, and what to everything.
Put your time.
Press down a little bit so we can...
Turn in the way.
Yeah, I want you guys to get back. Well, of course we're going to say Plastoline, but I want to make sure everybody's in here. Wait.
I'm in my shoulders, bro.
Wait, you got to step in. Red shirt, you got to step in.
We gotta get closer.
Yeah, you guys gotta get close. Everybody get close. Close.
I don't think we win it.
Okay, it looks like we got everybody.
There you go.
You guys ready? Oh, where's my Plastoline? I was gonna hold it up. I don't know where it is. Is it over there? I can like hold it.
No, it's not. It's not over here.
What? Where? Who stole it?
Someone took
Somebody. Somebody really is upset at the gas prices. All right, yeah, this looks like this everybody here. All right, guys. 1, 2, 3.
Plastoline!
Awesome.
I'm gonna win. Take it one.
Miss Brown Beauty, so please. Let's make a line, come to the table.
Oh yeah, and by the way, guys, any shirts, I'll be signing shirts.
Okay. Guys, just put my easy phone. I got you.
Yeah, we're doing it. Oh, you put it on YouTube right? Just kill it from me.
Yes.
I'm still gonna post it on
Y'all
YouTube. I'm still, I can see the clip.
On time.
Yes.
I'll take it. Oh my God.
I like that. Don't mess it up.
Oh my God. There you go.
The pressure on him.
Yeah, everybody had Nesby and all that, so.
I like. Turn the flash on and put it in two zoom.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, after this,
You can look at it, read it.
Oh, flash ain't on. Okay. You're gonna have to just take it as is.
yeah, okay. So if you guys want,
YouTube is good. YouTube is Randy TV, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. So yes, I just seen the vlog where I just met Julian Brown, man. It was a cool, calm little event. I'm not gonna lie. I learned a lot. I learned that plastic is very important in this society, in this world right now. You can use plastic a lot to make gas and etc. Y'all seen it, man. Plastoline, man. I go lie, it's lit. Y'all seen it though, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. This is the end of today's vlog, man. Day in the life with Deezy, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. Video dropping every single day, man. Yes, I said it, every single day, man. Make sure y'all stay tuned, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Man, Deezy TV, man. Another day, another dollar. Another fat girl go holla. Y'all already know what it is. Man, Deezy TV, gone.